Let's start with breaking news in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell has agreed to a 4-year, $273 million max extension with the Cavaliers. He could have waited until next summer and gotten another year and about another $80 million, but he gives Cleveland cost certainty right now. Senior NBA insider Shannon joining us now with much more on this story. So we know the Cavs are among the leaders to land LeBron James. How does Mitchell's extension impact that decision?
Kevin, it certainly helps because here you have a franchise cornerstone in Cleveland now doubling down on the franchise. This is the second extension Donovan Mitchell has signed since joining the Cavs in 2022. And I'm told Donovan Mitchell has been hands-on with his approach to trying to help the Cavs and work with the Cavs on roster upgrades after their run to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that does include the pursuit of LeBron James. And Donovan Mitchell has made it clear behind the scenes that he would embrace LeBron James coming and joining him in Cleveland. Another wing player that the Cavs have looked into along with LeBron James after figuring out LeBron James' decision is unrestricted free agent wing Jonathan Kuminga. But this decision by Donovan Mitchell is an early commitment for him. Like you waited a year from now for an extra $80 million, but he decides to double down on the Cavs now. And the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, now are turning their full pursuit toward LeBron James.
Okay, let's get to one guy that played with the Cavs this past season. That is James Harden. He opted out of his deal with Cleveland. What can you tell us about his future with the Cavs?
James Harden will be going back to the Cavaliers, Kevin, just depending on how this shakes out with LeBron James and other upgrades the Cavs are able to make. He will be back, my understanding is, on a multi-year deal. Now, whether that's a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal, a lot of that shakes out after the Cavs offseason moves. But I'm told James Harden, his reps, are on the same page with the Cavs. They want to give the organization as much flexibility as possible to see what upgrades they can make because they know there needs to be some level of upgrade on the roster, especially on the wing. So whether it's LeBron James, a guy like Jonathan Kuminga, this is a Cavs group led by Kobe Altman, president of basketball operations, that is being aggressive here in the market. And that starts with LeBron James. That's someone that James Harden is waiting to see. That'll dictate his contract.
James, we're all waiting. We're all waiting to see what happens with LeBron James. And when we have that story, I promise you, Shams Charania will have the breaking news on SportsCenter. Shams, thank you so much.
Hey, let's get right to senior NBA insider Shams Charania. Donovan Mitchell signing an extension. Shams, what are the details?
And a 4 years, $273 million max contract extension through 2031 for Donovan Mitchell. And he could have waited till next summer, waited the full next season to be able to sign for an additional 5th season and an extra $80 million. But the first day Donovan Mitchell was eligible for an extension was today. And he, his agent Austin Brown, Kobe Altman, the team president, Dan Gilbert, the owner, spoke. They came to terms on the deal that now gives the Cavs stability before Donovan Mitchell was going to be entering the final guaranteed year of his deal. We know the types of pressure that comes with that. And this is now the second extension that Donovan Mitchell has signed in Cleveland ever since he got there in 2022. And this is a stamp and a pledge to his commitment in Cleveland as this team clearly tries to compete for a championship in the East.
And compete for the LeBron sweepstakes as well, because you reported the Cavs are trying to lure him back to Cleveland. How does this extension play into that picture?
Hannah, it doesn't hurt that a franchise cornerstone has now committed, doubled down on his commitment to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Donovan Mitchell, I'm told, has been very active in a significant part of the conversations the Cavs officials have been having this summer on upgrading the roster. Yes, that includes the pursuit of LeBron James, and I'm told behind has made it clear that he would embrace LeBron coming to the Cavaliers and joining him in Cleveland. Another wing as well that the Cavs have pursued here in free agency is Jonathan Kuminga, unrestricted free agent after his team option was declined by Atlanta. Kenny Atkinson coached Jonathan Kuminga in Golden State as an assistant. So LeBron James is the first priority for the Cavaliers, and Donovan Mitchell is fully on board with that and upgrading the Cavs roster overall after they made a run to the Eastern Conference Final.
And then, of course, they got to figure out the James Harden of it all as well. Very interesting stuff, Shams. Thank you so much. And wherever he ends up, you can expect LeBron to be in peak form. Look at this. He posted this clip in the gym yesterday. This is a 41-year-old.
I really want to try that, to be honest.
Not with them heavy weights.
I was going to say, do you count weights to help? Do you? Okay.
No,
okay, I can't do it.
You got to be able to hold first.
That's just, that's like otherworldly. Okay, you heard that.
Athlete and us is like, give me one shot of that.
Hold first, and then I can add the weights.
I love it. Monica McNutt, Sinead, we're going to be here all day, so that's why we have the W call here, right? We're all day, all night. Wendy, hello to you. Very interesting stuff we just heard there. Hey, first of all, how does this contract situation, this extension, what does this do for the immediate future of the Cavs?
Well, this is, huge welcome news for the Cavs because I think they were bracing themselves for the reality that Donovan would pass on the contract extension offer because it just made so much more sense to wait until next year. We're seeing Nikola Jokic, in fact, who's a pride and, totally through and through Denver Nugget, he intends to wait for next year because he wants to be able to get more guaranteed money. And Donovan Mitchell doing this now enables the Cavs to make plans for the future. Beyond their pursuit of LeBron James, this is about getting their team in best position to compete in the medium term. Now, the Cavs were a second apron team last year. They want to move into next season not being in the second apron. And that is part of what an opt-out and extension of a new contract with James Harden will be about. And for the Cavs to go through this offseason, again, regardless of whether they win the LeBron James sweepstakes or not, get out of the second apron and retain their entire core, which is Harden, Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. They didn't have to get any of those players off of their roster. That is a successful offseason. And so when they traded for Donovan Mitchell, there were a lot of people who did not believe he would make one contract extension. At age 29, he is committing the rest of his prime with a second contract extension. It's a huge victory for the Cavs organization. And look, the $75 million that they're going to owe him at age 35, I agree. In the age of teams moving off and not wanting Jaylen Brown at $57 million, maybe that contract will have a different feel 5 years from now. But the Cavs are very happy to enter into it to know that they're getting him in his prime for the foreseeable future.
I mean, if he's in the same kind of shape that LeBron is at age 41, I don't see that as much of a risk.
High bar.
I know. Listen, you just heard what everybody's kind of reporting. Maybe the Jonathan Kuminga about, oh, we expect James Harden to be back. Is there a better situation than Cleveland in your mind for LeBron?
I still have questions about Philly. I know I might be in the minority on that, but when I look at where LeBron would take his talents next, I'm thinking of where he's going to have the least mileage in terms of games played and experience and the most youth around him that he can help move forward. And I know folks will debate on what role he wants to have in his next stop, but I think Cleveland, I personally am a big fan of the full circle moment of it all, the storybook of it all. I think Donovan Mitchell is one of the better options in terms of superstars that are in their prime still that he could be paired with.
To me, this is it, the lineup here, because when I bring out my Rich Paul, whiteboard, I put up this starting lineup and I'm like, this is plug and play. I know you like that, Wendy, for LeBron James. You have a point guard in James Harden who has completely moved, or at least he should at this point, to straight up facilitator knocking down open shots. You have Donovan Mitchell who's locked in for the long term. And when we talk about his tenure, he has been a 4-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA when he's worn a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform, averaging 27 points per game. He's one of the top best players in the league. Evan Mobley, a DPOY, and Jared Allen, who people sleep on the fact that he's two-way. He was once an All-Star, but he's the type of guy that in the playoffs can provide an oomph, can provide a necessary oomph.
That works.
Especially in the front court. So when I look at the field and starting fives, Cleveland, and I'm LeBron James, and I love being at home, getting that home cooking, I might see I can just insert myself at the 3. We can play small ball with me at the 4. We can go super big and play with me at the 3. There are options here that might actually really work.
I love what you did there because the shortcoming, guys, as we've seen the last couple seasons for the Cavs, has been being able to show up in the playoffs. This year, yes, Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are able to achieve something by getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. If LeBron is healthy, and that's been an if at this point in his career, but if he's healthy, he could be the confidence that they might need.
Hey, LeBron led them to a first-round playoff win.
What I'm saying is, if he's healthy, he was the only one healthy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because you were following the Knicks very closely.
That's right. They beat our Rockets. That's how we know. They beat the Rockets. I know, he sure was. Wendy, really quick, James Harden, where does he fit into all of this?
Yeah, James Harden is going to re-sign with the Cavs, and when he re-signs with the Cavs, his new contract is going to take them out of the second apron, and that's what their long-term plan has been. But James Harden, like quite a few players in the league, for example, like Draymond Green, is waiting for LeBron James' decision. And if it would help the Cavs funnel more money to LeBron, I think James Harden is willing to change the terms of his contract. Not necessarily less guaranteed money, but maybe to stretch a new deal from 2 years to 3 years, because what the Cavs are trying to achieve is get enough money underneath the second apron that they can add LeBron potentially for more than the minimum. The idea of LeBron James coming to your team at $6 million or $4 million for the minimum is in crazy great efficiency.
So, that is wild.
Whatever, I think Harden is, like Sham said, I think Donovan Mitchell is embracing the concept. I think James Harden is embracing the concept. And look, last year, LeBron did everything from play point guard to center for the Lakers. Not in 2019, last year. So I would argue he could be plug and play on any roster.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Mobley's making $221 million, and Allen $90 million, and I mean, just to think of LeBron being by far the least paid person on that roster.
He's in a different chapter of his life and a different tax bracket.
But it's still crazy to think about. All right. Meanwhile, what about the Heat? Okay.
you.